Well, welcome to Fans Banter. Haven't been on in a few days, but we're back. And thank you. Today we'll be talking about Virgil van Dijk, his shock move to a few teams, to be quite honest with you. We'll also talk a little bit about Jurgen Klopp. He's back in management. And we'll also talk about Curtis Jones and his possible move to another Premiership team. So yeah, let's get on with it now. Let's kick off. I like that phrase. Let's kick off with Virgil van Dijk's exclusive. It was built as an exclusive by Graham Bailey of Team Talk. And there's a photo in the article that says painful exit looms. Painful exit looms for Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool open to shock Virgil van Dijk sale amid a sense of regret. What is the regret? We'll talk about the regret later on as we go through the article. Multi-club transfer scramble. There's people all over the place scrambling for Virgil van Dijk's signature. Team Talk can reveal in this exclusive that Liverpool no longer regard Virgil van Dijk as untouchable. And sources understand that the Reds are prepared to assess any serious offer for Virgil van Dijk. And there is claims that he would be a dream signing for a former Man United manager. We'll talk about that Man United manager as we go along. It goes on to say Virgil van Dijk signed a lucrative contract back in 2025 with an estimated weekly his paycheck, 350 grand a week, alongside Mo Salah. But Team Talk understands that those renewals of Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah are now viewed with some regret inside Anfield after the club's disappointing campaign. It was a disappointing campaign. I don't know about whether they're reviewed with regret, to be quite honest with you. So who's the clubs interested? Well, AC Milan, now managed by former Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim, have made inquiries through intermediaries, not directly to the club, but sort of, when you were younger, you'd say, hey, will you ask that girl out there if she'll go on a date with me? That type of thing. That's the way it is. What a deal might look like for Van Dijk. Well, you'll offer some money and Liverpool will tell you no. That's what will happen. That's what the deal will like. Reports in the Italian press have described Van Dijk as a dream signing for the new Rossoneri boss. There's also other clubs. Because it's a scramble. It's a scramble for his signature. There's other clubs involved. Turkish heavyweights Galatasaray and Fenerbahce have also been credited with showing some interest in Virgil van Dijk. And we now understand at Team Talk, that's what it says, that the Saudi Pro League are now continuing to monitor the situation regarding Virgil van Dijk. Lots of money in the Saudi League. But there's also a significant interest, well, it has to be, doesn't it? Because it has to be worldwide from the American Football League, the MLS, because soccer is taking place in America at the moment. And they are kind of fond of Van Dijk. They have a genuine admiration, is what they say here, for Van Dijk. And a desire to tempt him to the United States should he become available. Probably unlikely. However, it is stressed that despite the willingness to consider offers, Liverpool are not actively looking to move their captain on, and Iraola is not pushing for his departure. Surprise, surprise! Despite that, though, Team Talk understands neither the club nor the player would immediately dismiss the possibility of a transfer if a suitable proposal arrived. Instead, both parties are prepared to evaluate any serious offers on its merits before making a decision, as most people genuinely possibly would. He says here, allowing Van Dijk to leave would represent another major reshaping of the Reds' backline and would almost certainly require significant reinforcements before the transfer window closes. You would expect if a player goes out, a player comes in. For now, Van Dijk remains a Liverpool player. So right at the very end of the article, it says, for now, Van Dijk remains a Liverpool player. And one thing that sources are stressing is this. Sources? Which sources? There is no expectation that he will be forced out of Anfield. Though with offers now being considered, an exit cannot be ruled out for Virgil van Dijk. I don't know about this one. I think this is a kind of there's not much else going on in the transfer market, so we'll make something up. I don't think Liverpool have any intention of selling Van Dijk. I don't think Van Dijk would have any intention of leaving Liverpool. I think Liverpool need Van Dijk this season. I know he didn't have his best season last year, but I think we need him this season to help Jeremy Jacquet to settle into Liverpool and Giovanni Leone coming back from a long-term injury. I think with Konate also gone, they mentioned that in the article, by the way, that Liverpool would need Van Dijk to sort of ease them into the Premiership and also, to a great extent, help Iriola as he moves into Liverpool as the new manager. Consistency. That's the basis of all success. So I would say this article is just a load of nonsense. And that Van Dijk will be at Liverpool next season. And I don't know if he's going to get a contract extension for the season after that. Only time will tell about that. But I fully expect Van Dijk to be a Liverpool player for next season, as I think most Liverpool fans would actually expect Van Dijk to be there. Anyway, now Jurgen Klopp is back. Jurgen Klopp is back in football, or is he? Nagelsmann has been sacked. We know that. Nagelsmann got the boot after, well, I don't know whether he quit now or whether he was sacked, because I think he was given the opportunity. I think he was told in advance, listen, we're sacking you, but if you want to quit, you can quit. Probably trying to save some money. I don't know what his contract details are, but yeah, he's gone. And anyway, so that's gone. Germany didn't perform too well in the World Cup, and they're already at home on holidays, and he's already out of a job. And Jurgen Klopp declares he's ready for a management return, more than recharged after his stint at Liverpool, where he left Liverpool claiming that he was tired. Jurgen Klopp has now stated on ESPN, I think, so he's actually declared himself, it's not just a rumour, that he is interested in the German job and that talks are actually taking place between him and the German hierarchy. Jurgen Klopp back in management. Yes, he declared, speaking on Magenta TV via ESPN, Klopp confirmed negotiations are underway. Yes, I can confirm the talks. So yeah, straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak, if you were to believe the article. Klopp is in talks with the German Football Federation, if that's what they're called, about returning as Liverpool. Sorry, a Freudian slip there. Returning to football as the German manager. And if he does, it's going to be good news for German football. I think it's going to be bad news for European football. I would say if Klopp does take over the German team, I think he will get a better performance from the German squad than Nagelsmann got in the World Cup. And I also predict, I'm not the first person to say it, but if Klopp becomes the German manager, Germany will win the next World Cup. Yep. So Klopp back in football, fantastic. He's been gone too long. It's not to Liverpool, but you gotta have a personality like Jurgen Klopp in football. Yeah, he loves football. Football loves him. So Klopp back in football, fantastic news for all those concerned, but fantastic news for the German people and the German footballers. So, what have we got next? Well, we move on to Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones now has a new suitor. Somebody else is interested in Curtis Jones, and it's Nottingham Forest. It looks like the Inter Milan deal is just done and dusted. It's a dead duck in the water. There's no way Curtis Jones is going to be going to Italy. The Italians don't want to pay the money that Curtis Jones, that Liverpool are looking for Curtis Jones. They're sticking at the 21 million. They're being like stingy little you-know-whats, and they're trying to get Curtis Jones on the cheap. Liverpool have him 35-40 million, and Forest, after selling that player to Man City, now have a bit of money, and they have almost sort of declared interest in Curtis Jones, for a want of a better word. And Curtis Jones is adamant that he wants to leave Liverpool this season, but it's not going to be to Inter Milan. Curtis Jones probably going to Nottingham Forest. They're the only ones at the moment showing any interest in Curtis Jones, and they have the money to be able to meet the fee that Liverpool want for Curtis Jones. There'll be some back and forth about how much Liverpool actually get for him, but one thing we do know is that Notts Forest do have the money, and it'd be good to see Curtis Jones staying in the Premiership. His first choice was obviously Italy. I think that's where he had all these eggs in the basket, hoping to go to Italy. But that's not going to happen now, I wouldn't imagine. Notts Forest for Curtis Jones, quite possible. So that's it from Fans Banter today. We really do appreciate you watching our video, and perhaps you could give us a little thumbs up or like and subscribe. I can't get that right. Like and subscribe to the channel. That would be great. We're a small Liverpool fan channel. We talk about football We talk about other things. We get rid of that. And we're about 105, 106 subscribers. It goes up and down a little bit, but that's all right. But if you have enjoyed the video today, give us a little thumbs up on it. Give us a little subscribe to the channel. That would be even fantastic. And look forward to seeing you on the next one. And that's Fans Banter.